Hi, at Innovate, our purpose is to help you. That's why we present our Facturizame extension to CRM. This extension was created with the intention of facilitating the way of invoicing from your CRM. The main functionalities that you can perform with this extension are 1. Invoice stamp, 2. Bill cancellation, 3. Payment supplement stamp, 4. Payment add-on cancellation. When you're installing the Facturizame extension for CRM, a section is installed that you can find in your CRM, and it's called Facturizame. You can look this new section in the top of the screen in the menu, or you need to press the 3 points to look for this new section called Facturizame. It's important that the configuration of this section remains with the correct data that you have registered with the SAT. This is the first step to be able to stamp. In the first section, you can change the logo. This logo will be a stamp in the invoices. Now, in general info, I give you some key hacks of the fields to fill. First, company name. In this space goes the name as the company is known. It's not necessarily the name of the company name registered with the SAT, but in the second one, name or tax name, here is the name of the company as it is registered with the SAT, whether it is a natural person or a legal entity. You can also check this in the proof of the fiscal situation. After, tax ID or RFC. Here goes the RFC as it is registered with the SAT, tax ID. You can validate this information in the tax situation certificate. Next is the fiscal regime. You can validate this information also in the situation certificate and the zip code as you had the registered in the situation certificate. And here on the left side, in this same page, you can see the way that you can upload the digital certificates. When you press upload, certificates menu is displayed for you to upload the requested information. And here in this part, you need to upload a key file, a CR file, and the password. These files are provided by SAT. Once you have the information, you need to upload the information. When you have the information of the certificates, you'll see in a green letters the number of the certificates that you upload in a right way, the company and the data that you have as equal in your certificate from SAT. Before I start to stamp the invoices, it is important to review the mandatory data that the SAT requires for the products and accounts. When installing the Facturizame extension for CRM, within the SAT products and account section, mandatory fields link to the requirements that SAT needs for CFDI 4.0 will be automatically added. Before starting to stamp the invoices, it is important to review the mandatory data that the SAT requires for the products and accounts. When installing the Facturizame extension for CRM, within the Products and Accounts section, mandatory fields link to the requirements that the SAT needs for CFDI 4.0 will be automatically added. Next, we need to select the Product section. In this part, when we select the products that we had, we can see that for each of the products you have registered, it is important that the new fields are filled out in order to stamp the invoices. The new fields are SAT code, and SAT unit. The SAT code must correspond to the product catalog based on the products or service offered, and the SAT unit is a drop-down field. You can see here the different options. Now, if we go to the account section and we select one example, we can locate the new fields in this part, that is fiscal regime, tax ID, that is RFC, and address information, that is a mandatory field from SAT. The customer data must be the same as those that appear in the tax situation certificate, since if it does not correspond when you want to stamp the invoice, it will show you an error. Once we fill out all the spaces for the new invoice and save this one, this action creates the invoice and the invoice information view is automatically displayed. If you want to see the invoice generated, you can press in two ways. The first one is press the button that said CFDI in the top of this screen, or the second one is press on the invoice section. In this part, you can see all the invoices that you have. Once we have our invoice, the next step is stamp this one. For that action, we need to press the button that said CFDI. Here is a mandatory requirement from SAT to select the payment method, the CFDI use, and the payment performed. Once we have this information and all the information regarding to the product and to the account is complete, we proceed to press the button stamp this one. Have our invoice stamped, we notice that in this part we have the fiscal ID, that is a unique number that the SAT gives you. If you want to see the invoice, you press the button that said CFDI. If you press this one, you can notice that the file that you'll see is the PDF and XML correspond to the new invoice. And in case if you want to cancel this invoice, in this same screen, next to the button that said CFDI, you can notice cancel CFDI. Here is really easy because you only need to the reason of cancellation, and here as the you only need the reason of cancellation, and here you can see the different options. The next part that we'll see is a payment complement. This applies when you have in a invoice a deferred payment. To see this one, the first thing is that you'll see it in the invoices part. Now we need to select the invoice that applies this payment complement. When we select this one, in the left side of this screen, we'll notice the payment complement. Here, if you'll see, you can notice that we have the Add button. If we press this button, we need to put the date when apply this payment, the number of the partiality, the way of the payment, the operation number, and the amount. And the next step is to save this action. And now, you'll see in the screen a confirmation about the system has been stamped successfully. When we close this window, we can see in this screen on the part of the payment complements the CFDI that correspond to this payment complement. Equal as the other way, you can cancel this payment complement if you press the button cancel. And here, as the other invoice, we have the cancellation reason. That is a requirement to cancel an invoice or a payment complement. Thanks for your attention. Have a good day.